Hey, Tony Gas is here, popping in. Been a long day. Hey, I'm tired. I think I was up late last night, or not really, but then I slept in, and then sometimes you sleep in. Kids out of school right now, but I want to tell you about this, and this is something that I'm working on every day because so often we get caught up to where we allow people and things and our job to drain us, and we allow everything to come before us. And I posted one time, prioritize you. Because when we think about priorities, if you have kids, then your kids are a priority. Your job, your money are a priority. Your spouse is a priority. Your friends, your family, your car, everything is a priority. But a lot of times we fail to prioritize ourselves. And there's this space where we function at a very high level. There's a space where we feel good. We feel excited about life. And we're ready to take on the world. But oftentimes we don't pay attention to what gets us to that place and what gets us in that space. And for each person, it may be different. So for some people, it's reading a book. For some people, it's working out. For some people, it's cooking a meal. For some people, it's talking to somebody they know and love. For each person, it may be different. And you may be an extrovert where you want to be out and about. You want to go out to a networking event. You want to go to the lounge. Or you may be an introvert where you want to be alone. You want to be able to just sit in your thoughts. And we have to be mindful of that. I'm an introvert. And a lot of times when I get to ripping and running, meaning when I'm taking care of the world and I'm not taking care of myself and I'm not doing the things that my mental needs me to do, that could be working out. That could be spending time with the Lord. That could be spending time by myself, just thinking through my plan, all of those things. If I'm not doing that, then guess what happens? I get caught up and I get ran down, and then I'm on the verge of exploding. And I think a lot of us go through that. And this is why we have to be mindful of this, because we got to understand our mind and how our mind works. We recently lost a public figure who took his own life, and people posted about it and talked about it. I had seen one or two videos from my wife, and she'll send me those videos sometime, and I'll be like, you want us to do this? Or you know these professional dancers, right? Even if I don't know if they are. And so then when I seen that, I was like, wow, this is very real. It's very real. And here's the thing. I was talking to my dad today, and he was like, man, after seeing what happened with the guy, it made me think about you and made me, really wonder about you and just where you at, mentally and just with everything on your plate. And he's like, man, if you ever get down, just give me a call, and don't just call me one time. Keep calling me until I answer. And I told him, I said, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And the devil, that goes through my head oftentimes. You hear those things. I feel like the human experience, we all at some point or another come to that place, and that thought of, do I even need to be here? Should I take my life? Like, what am I here for? What's the purpose of this? And I call it spiritual warfare. Some people just say, oh, that's just your thoughts. That's just your thoughts. No, we a spiritual being having a human experience, and there's good and there's evil. And so we go through those things. But I have resolved within myself that I will never do that. And the reason why I have told myself I would never take my life is because I've learned that the sun always shines tomorrow. I've learned that it always gets better on the other side. I've learned that in everything there is a lesson. But here's the thing. Not everybody gets to that place. Not everybody is there. That's why the saying says check on your strong friends, because not everybody is there. And sometimes we go through those things and we come to that place in life to where we don't know what tomorrow holds, and we don't trust that it's going to bring something good. And we have to understand that you have to be your first priority. And as you've heard it so eloquently said, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you cannot be an amazing parent if you are drained and you're not filling your cup up. You can't be an amazing spouse. You can't be an amazing son or daughter, brother or sister, uncle or aunt, cousin, friend, co-worker, employee, boss. You can't be amazing at anything if you're not filling yourself up, if you're not doing what you need to do. And that's why it's so important. And we getting ready to go into 2023. And that's essentially, even though I don't feel like doing stuff like this sometimes, but that's why I scheduled the class for December 31st. And thank you to those of you who have signed up. I don't know the exact number yet. I got to look it up. But if you have not signed up, go to TonyGaskelsAcademy.com. You'll see it say 2023. And I priced it as such so that the group isn't too big, but yet so that you understand this is serious. This series, we're going to talk about real life and really preparing to make 2023 an amazing year. And you want to get this knowledge and then go back through it. And that's what we do not do. We don't prioritize ourselves. We don't take ourselves seriously enough. We don't live the way we're supposed to live and do what we're supposed to do. And it needs to be understood that you cannot sleep on you. You cannot discount yourself. So what I want you to start thinking about is, what does your daily routine look like? What do you do, or what do you need to do on a daily to fill up? And just like with a car, you can only go so long on a full tank. And that right there is a metaphor for life. You can only go so long on a full tank. Eventually you're going to be empty and you got to fill up again. So when I do a little workout, it gives me a little something. When I spend time with my loved ones, it gives me a little something. When I get in one of my cars and I ride around and I love my car, it ain't even about the car, it's more so just the peace and quiet. I love being alone with my thoughts, being alone with the Lord. I went today to work out, and let me tell you what I did. I hired a running coach. God, I do not like running, so I know if I hire a running coach, my wife, she run, but sometimes it's not good to do certain things in your marriage because it can cause tension in the marriage. So it's like, I don't like working out with my wife because she work out super duper hard, and that make me angry when I work out with her, and I lash out. Why are we doing all this? Man, this ridiculous. You know I'm out of shape. Why you gonna put this much? And then I'm just tired and my brain ain't functioning. But I could hurt her feelings. She be like, oh, I was trying to help you. But I'm like, no, you're not. You trying to kill me. I'm like, what you trying to get, life insurance? And so sometimes you have to realize, like, not everything is good to do with your spouse. Like, we just was sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Then she had to leave because she forgot she got to help her mama sign this paper. She had to print out this thing for her mama to sign. And so she had to take that to her. So when she went to do that, I said, well, let me come in here and shoot me a video instead of just sitting and staring at the TV. And my son out with his friends, and Tatum, he playing his game. So we all doing our thing. My son, 15, that's his fill up. Had I told him, no, you can't go to the movies with your friend, he can't fill up. My wife, she going to help her mama, just even riding over there. Just clear her head. She by herself, talk to her mama. When you with somebody you love like that, getting older, make you feel good. Come back, Tatum playing his game, that's his fill up. When I finish this video, I'm going to call Tatum. We're going to watch some of them try not to laugh videos. And so that'll be a fill up. And this is what I want you to think about. So I hired a running coach and I hired a nutritionist. And I don't want to hire a trainer because I just don't like nobody standing over me telling me what to do. I done tried it over and over and over and over. I always end up wasting the sessions. So you also got to know yourself. I like working out by myself. And the day when I went to do my run from a running coach, I got a little more than halfway through it. Couldn't do the whole thing. First day, had to know my body, know my limits. My back is hurting bad. But what did I do? I went with no headphones. It's probably a small percentage of people who work out without listening to music or a podcast. I'm one of those people because I like to be able to talk to myself and hear my thoughts. So I did it outside, and I came in, went into my home gym and finished up on the treadmill and with no music. I'm just talking to myself. I'm listening to myself. I'm diving a little deeper. But it made me feel a little better. But I'm still not all out the wood because then I wanted me some Popeye's chicken. And I'm just being real with you. So I realized I still got work to do. Okay? But you have to know yourself. And you got to get to know you. And you have to make sure you put the things in place for your life so that you filling up. So if that's a 30-minute walk every day, if that's a 30-minute conversation with a loved one, if that's 30 minutes of quality time with a loved one, whatever it is, you got to make sure that you filling up. And when you filling up, then what you're going to realize is, oh, wow, I'm going to work with more energy, or I'm going into my business with more energy. Like I'm doing this here or that there with more energy. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this. Like I'm smiling more. I'm happier. And you got to understand that. And so when you do that, understand that one thing I learned is that I have to remember to work. So a lot of times you see me and I talk about, oh, I'm working hard. It's just what I do. I'm dealing with people's problems. But I actually don't work a lot. And so I realize I need to be working more. So I'm going to be writing more books. I'm going to be shooting more videos because that actually fills me up. Because when I had to grind 80 hours a week, I was invigorated. I was an even better husband because I was invigorated. But then going to working 10 hours a week, it's like not as motivated, not as spirits not up as much. And so this is what's important, to know yourself, learn what you need to do, and write it down or put it in your, schedule it in your calendar so that it pops up. But have it to where you can check in. Have it to where you can check and see, okay, this is what I need to be doing. Do this, until it becomes a habit, until it becomes second nature. And this is what I'm working on. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because as I start to work on something and it's helping me and I'm benefiting from it, I want to share it with you. And so understand, that's why we not just talking about relationships on here. This is life. This ain't just about love. Yes, relationships is a hot button topic, and that's always going to be a video on that, but we going a little deeper. We getting outside of that, because some people don't even want no relationship. Some people happy in their single life. Some people ain't with nobody, and some people in their marriage. But even in your marriage, this type of stuff still should benefit you, because the better you are, the better your marriage is going to be. And that's where we fail in that a lot of times, is we're not bettering ourselves. And sometimes people say, oh, well, Tony, talk to me about marriage and tell me how I can make my marriage. You make your marriage better by making yourself better. Because it's less about you trying to woo and do all of that, manipulate your partner's feelings and emotions and dictate that and control that, and more so about becoming the best version of you that you possibly can be. And as you do that, now your atmosphere starts to change. Your relationships start to change, and they start to get better because you're getting better. And so this is what we got to realize and understand. So be mindful. Make sure if you ain't subscribed that you hit the subscribe button, but you set your notification so that as we going through the close out this year and then get ready to start next year, when we rolling on in, you able to stay on top of things, stay on track, but also be aware of what's going on in the world, what's going on in your life, what's going on around you, so that you can have a better sense of control over your life, meaning direction. God ordering your steps, but you need to be headed in the right direction. And you need to do that. And the only way you'll be able to do that is by being centered, having your head on and staying focused and knowing what you need to be doing for you in order to grow. I'm going to tell you another thing I did, because a lot of times when you done read the Bible and you're a Christian and you feel like you know the word, you've written it upon the tables of your heart, you got scriptures that you can pull on when you're going through different things. A lot of times we get distant and we stop reading the word. But it's so much in that word, we'll never have it all in us. We'll never know everything. We'll never remember it all. It was crazy. I had a kid in school that could recite the Bible straight through. I don't know what kind of mind this kid had. It was the craziest thing. Like, you holding the Bible and he just sitting there just like looking straight ahead or looking down or closing his eyes, and he's reciting word for word the entire book of Matthew, and he just could keep going. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So listen to him. He could have probably been, special in a certain way, gifted in a certain way. This is what you got to do. What I started doing is, when I wake up, I go on the Bible app and I'm going somewhere in the Bible and I'm hitting play and I'm letting it read 2 chapters of the Bible to me, just to start my morning. And what you can do is, if you wake up and you got to get going, you ain't got time to lay in the bed for 5 minutes, or if you lay there, you're going to fall asleep. Get your phone, go in the Bible app. You can start in the book of Proverbs. You can start in the book of Genesis and just go all the way through the whole Bible if you want to. Or go to Proverbs, book of wisdom. That's what I love. And then Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Same story told from different perspectives. You can start in the book of John. Get John all the way up to Revelation. Then, now you done got your little basic, meat. Now you done got your Proverbs. You done got John up to Revelation. Now you may be ready to go ahead and go all the way through the whole Old Testament, and then go on all the way through Revelation. You could determine. But with my dad, who is a pastor, he's not actively pastoring, but he was a pastor, and he had read the Bible, he said, like 10 times. And so he had me starting. So my Bible plan came from a pastor who had read the whole Bible, and just me being young and on milk. He was on meat. I was on milk. So he said, read Proverbs. Then go to the book of John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Start in John and read John all the way up to Revelation. And then if you feeling good, you feeling ready, you mature, you understand, then you could go into more of the other stories. But this right here stuff gonna teach you life. Gonna teach you how to live your life. And because the Old Testament is some lessons in there, but it's not really like life examples that are applicable, because a lot of it changed in the New Testament. And so that's what you got to understand. But you put that in your spirit, so now it's kind of hard to spend time with God and then go cuss somebody out. It's kind of hard to spend time with God and not be motivated, not be in a better spirit, better mental space, because you just gave time to the Lord. And it don't mean that what you just read or listened to was spot on about what you're dealing with, but just that quality time, it draws you closer. Now you're more near to the Lord. And so when you go out into the world, it's like you taking the Lord with you, and he's going before you, and he's encamping his angels around you, and you feel that hedge of protection. You feel that peace, you feel that joy, that happiness, and you're mindful when you're talking to people that you're not gossiping and backbiting, that you're not flying off the handle, being quick to anger. All of these things because of where you done position your heart and mind to start your day. So understand that. And then add in the other things that you need. So when I get off here, I'm gonna probably spend a little time with my son. watch some videos, the football game on. So while we watching the videos, I don't really care too much about football. So I look up at it every now and then. But until my wife and my older son get back, and then boom, okay, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. And in the course of a day, I done had time with the Lord this morning. I done had a workout. Had me a grilled chicken salad for lunch. Had me some Popeyes for dinner. Done spent time with my wife, time with my older son, time with my youngest son. A whole day got everything in there. The good, the bad, the ugly. Now, I'm just kidding about you don't want to put no Popeyes in your day. But, Lord, I got my detox plan too. I had my wife get me some detox thing from GNC. Finna just cleanse my spirit, my mind, body, spirit. And so sometimes you got to know you. It's some people to where I say Popeye, they throw up in their mouth. Cause they just don't believe in fried chicken. They ain't never had it, don't want it. Throw up in their mouth. But then something somebody else might eat make me throw up in my mouth. That's why you got to know you. Because you got to live with you. You got to live with you. And so that's why I tell you, you got to have and create your blueprint. And you got to know what you can handle and what you can't handle and what you need to do. And when you do that, then you're going to start to realize and understand that you are the CEO of your life. Meaning, ultimately, the decision is you. God is your advisor, could be your leader, your president, could be whatever you want to call it, but you have to make the decision. Nothing is forced upon us. All we receive is instruction, but we have to follow through with that instruction. So, hey, this is Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Oh, and make sure you get your spot now in the kickoff 2023 class. When you go to TonyGaskinAcademy.com, I try to remember to put the link in the description up under the video. You'll see TonyGaskinAcademy.com and you'll see it say 2023. Get your spot in that class. That's going to be real. So I'm touching on stuff in the video, but the class is going to be several hours and we're going to have breaks. But we really going to do a little deep dive. And so be ready and have your notepad to take notes with. But claim your spot before it fill up. God bless you. We'll talk soon.